Greetings, my dear friends. This is Chax or Commander Chakrapani, your host of Chax Simplifies, once again with a new episode, this time on the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are a set of 572 islands, out of which only 38 are inhabited. About 450 nautical miles in length, just about 22 nautical miles away from Myanmar, that is the Cocos Islands, and about 90 nautical miles from Indonesia, that is Banda Aceh Island. They, you realize, are far closer to Myanmar and Indonesia than to India. They are our outer periphery. They are a part of the Great Himalayan mountain chain, an underwater extension of the Arakan Yoma as it transits across the Andaman Sea into Sumatra, Indonesia. Historically, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands were a part of the trade route between India and Southeast Asia as far back as the Mauryan Empire in 250 BC. More recently, they were staging posts for the Cholas as they invaded into the Sri Vijaya Empire of Sumatra in and around 1025 AD. Thereafter, the Europeans came back, rediscovered the Andaman Nicobar Islands, whether it was the Portuguese who went to the Great Nicobar Island, or the Danes, or the French, and finally the British. The British established their colony in the Andaman Nicobar Islands in the middle of the 19th century to help them with their expeditions into Myanmar, those days Burma. Suddenly realizing that these islands far away from mainland India were an ideal place to get rid of all the trouble creators, if you will, in India, and they established a penal colony here. The cellular jail of the Andaman in Port Blair was constructed between 1896 and 1906. This incarcerated a lot of Indian political prisoners, including Veer Savarkar. The Japanese controlled these islands from March 1942 till they abandoned these islands post the Second World War in August 1945. They were reoccupied by the Britishers and became a part of independent India on the 15th of August 1947. But hey, I'm not too sure whether many people realize these islands, renamed as Shahid and Swaraj by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, were the first independent free Indian territory. Netaji Subhash Bose unfurled the Indian tricolour on the 30th of December 1943. Post-independence, for decades, no development took place here, possibly because our planners thought we do not want to become a belligerent and continue with a pacifist, peace-loving image as far as the world is concerned. Geographically, if you look at the map, broadly you can see two sets of islands. The Andaman group in the north, with the capital Port Blair, and the Nicobar group in the south. Port Blair, the capital of the Andaman Nicobar Islands, and is the headquarters to the only Tri-Services Command of the Indian Armed Forces, directly under the Chief of Defence Staff. These islands straddle the 10-degree channel that is between the Andaman and the Nicobar chain of islands, or the group of islands, and just above the 6-degree channel below the Greater Nicobar Islands and the Malacca Straits. They lie along the shipping route between Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, on towards Malacca. Now you will wonder, why is it that I am talking about Malacca Straits for so much? Well, these Malacca Straits are among the busiest narrow straits waterways as far as global trade is concerned. About 580 nautical miles or 930 kilometers long, they help in the transit of over 100,000 ships of various sizes that transit the Malacca Straits. The capacity of the Malacca Straits is considered to be approximately 140,000 ships. These are the busiest straits globally. Over 80% of Chinese trade is dependent on the Malacca. These islands were called, or are also called, a metal chain by the Chinese strategists, as India can, like you pull up the chain and strangle the Malacca Straits. Therefore, this is the fear which is among the driving forces as far as the Belt and Road Initiative of China is concerned, wherein it seeks to de risk itself from the Malacca Straits. Now you start understanding why China is so focused on the Malacca Straits, the South China Sea, and the Andaman Sea. Of course, the land route from Gwadar as a part of the CPEC, as far as Pakistan is concerned, is an important link in this chain. Chinese interest in what is called as the Kra Canal is also evident because of this. We will speak about this Kra Canal in a moment. Therefore, let's get on to the geostrategic importance of the Andaman Nicobar Islands, or the Andamans for short. One of the most famous and oft quoted naval strategist, Admiral Mahan, said, "Whoever controls the Indian Ocean dominates Asia." This ocean is the key to the seven seas. In the 21st century, the destiny of the world would be decided on its waters. The Andamans are the gateway to the Indian Ocean for the Indo Pacific area, especially from Southeast Asia. No wonder the Andamans, since time immemorial, right from 250 BC to now, have been the staging posts for India's, if you want, for want of a better word, the look east policy. Whether it was the water crisis in the Maldives, when water was rushed from the Andamans to Maldives, or the natural disasters, the aid that we gave to Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and the other countries in the Asia Pac, Andamans were the staging post. They provide quick and easy access to the South China Sea. They found where the airports are to land the long-range maritime patrol aircraft like the P-3I Poseidon of the Indian Navy. They can choke both the 10-degree and the 6-degree channels, as well as the Malacca Straits, and become the staging post for all the passing exercises, or as they are called, PASEX, between Indian Navy and the other littoral navies around. Andaman Nicobar also plays host to a Bay of Bengal littoral navy's annual feast, or annual exercise as it is called, the Milan. Fighter aircraft operate on detachment regularly from here. There are also two amphibious battalions as well as two territorial army battalions in the Andamans. No wonder India has found the Andaman Nicobar Islands to be unsinkable aircraft carriers. Just look at the map of Andaman Nicobar all over again, and you will find, starting from the north, Diglipur or Shipur or INS Kosa, very close to the Cocos Island. And don't forget, China maintains a base here in Cocos Island. There is a runway extension project on to extend the runway to 1 lakh to 12,000 feet, capable of day and night operations, and it operates the Chetak, the Dornier 228, C-130J, and the P-8I aircraft. It is also capable of operating Su-30s and the Jaguars. Come further south, Port Blair. An over 10,000 feet runway, it can take all wide-bodied aircraft like the Airbus 320, the Boeing 737, Of course, the P8I Poseidon. A new integrated terminal is under construction there here and very soon will be inaugurated. Further south in the island of Car Nicobar is the Air Force Base of Karnik. It can operate all types of aircraft, including fighters, the Mirage 2000, the Su-30s, and the Jaguars. Come down south into the South Nicobar or the Great Nicobar Island, Campbell Bay, INS Bars, very close to the 6 degree and the channel and the Malacca Straits, a 6,000 feet runway which is being extended to 10,000 feet. The Dornier 228 and the C-130J operate from here regularly. The P-8I Poseidon surveillance aircraft can also be operated from here. So you have four large aircraft carriers which cannot be sunk. Now, when you look at the Andaman Sea and the Andaman Nicobar Islands, you will realize no wonder China is trying to flex its muscles here. What has it done? It has taken the Cocos Island on lease, though both China and Myanmar deny it, but it has taken these islands on lease. These are a group of 5 islands, about 500 kilometers from Yangon, 63 kilometers from Landfall Island, which is our North Island, and 284 kilometers from Port Blair. They are a part of the Chinese design of the string of pearls. They have established a listening port on the Great Coco Island in 1992 to monitor all the tests that ISRO or DRDO conducts in the Bay of Bengal. They monitor shipping in the Andaman Sea, especially on the 10 degree and the 6 degree channel. They have radar and signal intelligence and electronic intelligence infrastructure set up here. There's a maritime base with an 85-meter long jetty and other naval facilities. Chinese survey ships regularly use this facility for them, and their presence in the Andaman Sea does not go unnoticed as far as India is concerned. There is a very small airstrip here of approximately 3,000 feet. Let's now come back to what I was speaking about, the Kra Canal. The Kra Canal is going to be made in the Isthmus of Kra. China is eyeing to build a 120 kilometer long, 50 meter wide, 25 meters in depth canal across the Kra Peninsula. The cost of this project would be approximately $28 billion, and if it went ahead, would become a part of the maritime Silk Route of China. It would reduce the time to reach the Bay of Bengal by 3 to 4 days and over 1,200 kilometers, saving approximately $360 in fuel costs for a 1 lakh ton tanker per day. It will help reduce the Chinese dependence on the Malacca, Sunda, or the Lombok Straits, and would divide Thailand into two. Somehow, this is geopolitically not very great idea as far as Thailand is concerned, because the southern Kra Peninsula is a restive province, and it would very obviously transform the geopolitics of the region. It would threaten Singapore, which stares at a 30% loss in case the Kra Canal comes up, Port Kelang, and many other places. India and other Quad members have also expressed some interest, but the project is on hold. Actually, as people say, it is cancelled as of now. So, what is India doing about it? We have understood that it is a very important area as far as India is concerned. What is India doing about it? I did mention that for long this area was totally neglected. Of late, India has realized that if we have to become a $5 trillion economy, then the Andamans alone can contribute up to $1 trillion. How? Let's break this down into 3 or 4 big buckets. Let's take the economy itself. The Andaman Nicobar Islands account for less than 1% of land area of India, but 30% of the exclusive economic zone. No wonder With the renewed focus, there is a 10,000 crore rupee plan to develop Andamans into an economic hub. The Home Minister is the chairman of the Island Development Authority. You can see the focus goes all the way up to the top. Very recently, a fiber optic cable connectivity from Chennai to Port Blair was made in the year 2020, and inter-island fiber optic cable connectivity would happen by the end of next year. There is abundant limestone accessible and of very good grade for cement and foundry work. These islands and the waters around it are rich in minerals like chromite, gold, nickel, sulfur, coal. Limited offshore exploration for oil and gas has happened and shows some promise. It has not yet been developed. Take maritime trade. Why is Singapore so rich? What is the secret of Colombo? It is the transshipment. And at the Galathea Bay, southeast of the Great Nicobar Islands, south of Campbell Bay, only 90 kilometers away from the western end of the Malacca Straits, right at the entrance, would become a major competition for Hanam Tota, Colombo, Port Kelang, and Singapore. This transshipment international container terminal has been approved by the Niti Aayog and has already got environmental clearance. There are plans to have a free trade zone and a warehousing complex in it. Regulatory framework for direct trade and transshipment is expected to be in place very soon. Ship to ship transshipment, customs post had already been set up at Port Meadow. Shipbuilding and repair facilities are being set up here. Don't forget, the small and medium shipbuilding industry, the size which is expected to be approximately $500 billion, and Bangladesh presently, yes, Bangladesh presently dominates this part of trade in India, in this part of the world. Therefore, this place, Galathea Bay, has the potential to become important in this space also. The Andamans are immensely rich in marine resources. There's an estimation of the fishing capacity of 12 million tons of fish on an annual basis. And there are some experts that say that about 10 million tons of fish in the Andamans die of old age. Now, are there any surprises for why there are so many Chinese survey ships and fishing trawlers in this part of the world? There are plans to develop the entire fisheries ecosystem from warehousing to processing and the export of fish from here. Home to some of the most beautiful beaches, some of the pristine waters in the globe, India is thinking big as far as ecotourism is concerned in the Andaman Nicobar Islands. All parts of the Andaman and Nicobar will be connected by seaplanes and small aircraft. Their focused attention for tourists in Long Island, Hut Bay, etc. to realize the vast tourism potential. Rapid transportation network in the Andamans is on, and 2 bridges have been built across channels which eliminate ferry crossing at Baratang and Kadantala. Pavan Hans is already into operations for inter-island connectivity. Seaplane operations are expected to start soon. There used to be a restricted area permit requirement so far. This requirement is being removed. Little Andaman Island would be developed as the Singapore of India. Finally, can the military be far away? India's springboard to the Asia-Pac, Indo-Pacific, and the cornerstone of our Look East policy, Port Blair is home to the Naval Ship Repair Yard, the NSRY. There are two floating docks that have come up here. Land, sea, air connectivity across the island chain is being developed with facilities for transport, reconnaissance, and fighter aircraft. There are efforts to constantly enhance the scope of exercises, naval exercises with other navies across, including cross platform air operations, amphibious operations. The $1 million question is, will Campbell Bay become the headquarters, or at least the operational headquarters for Quad? If it does, it would send a very powerful signal as far as China is concerned, also to our friends in the Indo Pacific region, because they would now realize that not just India, but the Quad nations are very serious about maritime security. Would this progress into Quad Plus and Quad Plus Plus? Only time will tell. But going by the way the Quad is developing, it seems very likely. India has plans to become a $5 trillion economy by 2025. Andamans, if used efficiently and effectively, have the capacity to contribute $1 trillion of that. The future of the Indo Pacific, and indeed the Indian Ocean region, depends significantly on the success of the transformation that is in progress in the Andamans. The key to realize the dreams, the aspirations of the people of the Indo Pacific region lies in the freedom of navigation and rule based world order. Prime Minister Modi proposed a 5-point framework to enable just that during the recent debate on maritime security in the United Nations Security Council. The focus of the world is in this part of the world. Among the impediments to a natural rule based world order is China, possibly the most important impediment. China flouts all rules and is very aggressive in securing its interests, even at the cost of others. Checkmating or countering China, the aggressive China, is therefore a necessity. So, ladies and gentlemen, we continue to live in very interesting times. If you do approve of this video, please leave a like and please do comment. This motivates me immensely. As always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and press the bell icon to be notified of any new video that I post. Please feel free to share this video to your friends, and I, as always, look forward to your suggestions and continued support. Until next time,